This is Zyon Grand, a brand new launch coming soon to the River Valley and Great World area. We have 2 striking towers, over 700 units, and the preview is estimated to happen this October. So here is something very interesting, right? Zyon Grand's land is actually secured at $1,202 per square foot per plot ratio, making it one of the lowest amongst the recent RCR sites. So for comparison, right, Promenade Peak, which is actually right beside, the land cost is actually at $1,304 per square foot per plot ratio, and its launch prices started from an estimated of $2,600 per square foot. So the real question is, with such a low entry land price, right, how would CDL position Zyon Grand? Could this be the project that gives buyers an advantage in today's market? And if you have missed out on Promenade Peak, this might just be the second chance you have been waiting for. So make sure you keep watching to the end of this video because I'll be going through some of these key factors, including how this service apartment may affect the performance of Zyon Grand. So first, I'll go through some quick project information so that you will know the basics about Zyon Grand, and then I will share my views on why would people buy into this project, and also what are some of the concerns that buyers might have. And finally, we'll touch a bit on the unit mix so that you'll know what to expect when the floor plans are released. So my goal is actually very simple, to give you the clarity that I would want myself before deciding if Zyon Grand is the right move. So Zyon Grand is an integrated project and Singaporeans do love that. So what that means is that you're directly connected to Havelock MRT, and also within the development itself, you will have some restaurants, a supermarket, and even an early childhood development center. And if that is not enough, you're just a short walk to Great World Mall, where you will find even more dining, shopping, and lifestyle options. So here are the key details for Zyon Grand. The developer is actually a joint venture between CDL and Mitsui Fudosan. Both are very well established names with very strong records, so buyers can definitely feel confident about the quality. The project itself will be 2 blocks of 62 stories residential towers and also a separate block of 36-story service apartment tower, which I will touch more on that later. And just now, like I mentioned, the project will also come with restaurants, supermarket, and early childhood development center. In total, there will be 706 residential units on a 99-year lease. So the unit types will range from 1 plus study all the way to 5-bedroom supreme units and 2 penthouses. So there will be a wide mix catering to both investors and families. So, and it's also worth noting that your next door neighbor, which is Promenade Peak, is a single 63-story tower. So Zyon Grand and Promenade Peak are literally side by side. I feel that buyers will be naturally comparing the two. So here are some of the perspectives of how the views might look like from Zyon Grand. So this is the south facing from level 40 with city view stretching across towards the CBD and beyond. And this is the north-facing view from around level 40. So do take note, right, from this angle, there will be Promenade Peak over here, which is 63 stories. So while you still get these elevated views, right, buyers should take into consideration that some of the outlook here might be partially blocked once Promenade Peak is completed. So now I'll go through some of the reasons why people will like Zyon Grand, and I think one of the very strong indicators is the developer. So on one side you have CDL, a name which most Singaporeans already would know. They have delivered projects like Irwell Hill and also Boulevard 88, and these are in the central regions, one of the most luxury condos along Orchard. And on the other side you have Mitsui Fudosan. They are from Japan, a global real estate giant, and they've been behind the major developments like Tokyo Midtown Yaesu, which is in Tokyo, and also 50 Hudson Yards, which is in New York. So with CDL and Mitsui coming together, right, you are not just buying into a condo, you're buying into some kind of quality and execution that you will expect from these landmark projects. So one of the biggest advantages of Zyon Grand, and the second reason why people will like this project, will definitely be because of its connectivity thanks to the Thomson East Coast Line. So from Havelock MRT, right, which is integrated into the project, and Singaporeans really do love their integrated projects. You are 1 stop away from Great World City, or you can actually walk there, and also 2 stops to Orchard. And that means your shopping, dining, and the heart of Singapore's retail belt is literally minutes from your doorstep. If you go a little further, in 4 stops, you will reach Marina Bay Financial Centre, making it extremely convenient for those working in the CBD. And if you're actually looking the other way, we are 1 stop from Outram Interchange, which links you up to the East-West line as well as the North-East line. So with this Thomson East Coast line, right, you're basically connected across the island without having the need to rely on driving. However, if you still do drive, you are minutes away from major expressways like CTE, AYE, and MCE, giving you quick access to the rest of Singapore. So just now, like I mentioned, this site at Zyon Road was awarded to CDL at $1,202 per square foot per plot ratio. And if you compare that with the recent launches, this is one of the lowest land prices in the RCR. So just now, like I mentioned, Promenade Peak was awarded at $1,304 per square foot per plot ratio, and the launch price started from $2,600 per square foot. And since Promenade Peak has already launched, today the cheapest unit available at Promenade Peak is at $2,720 per square foot. So now with Zyon Grand having a lower entry land cost, right, the developer potentially has a chance to offer a more attractive price. However, we still need to be realistic. It does not automatically mean that the units here will be cheap. The developers will still have to decide based on several other factors before they actually release the guide price to us. So it only means that there is a potential chance that this project can be placed in a better position if they want to capture buyers' interest with a competitive launch price. So as we come to the topic of pricing, right, I feel that this is also a potential drawback that buyers will need to be mindful of, as Zyon Grand is an integrated project, and historically speaking, this project almost always carry a premium. So take Parktown for an example. Integrated with MRT and mall in Tampines, it was sold 87% on launch day, and even though the prices were higher than the surrounding OCR projects, buyers were still willing to pay because of the convenience and rarity of an integrated project. So in another case of Pasir Ris 8, right, it was launched at a clear premium compared to the nearby condos, but it still managed to sell 85% of their units on the first day. Again, integrated factor was the differentiator. So while Zyon Grand's land cost is lower than Promenade Peak, buyers should still expect that the integrated element will definitely push the pricing upwards. So while Zyon Grand's land cost is lower than Promenade Peak, but buyers should expect that because of this integrated element, there is a chance that they will push the pricing higher. Buyers should anticipate a higher launch price that reflects the integrated lifestyle premium and decide if this extra convenience is worth it. So the second concern that some buyers might have would be the service apartment. So now before we talk about the service apartment component in Zyon Grand, let me clear up what this actually means, because not all service apartments are the same. So there are 2 categories. There's service apartment and service apartment 2, or we call it SA and SA2. So for SA, right, service apartments, they have a minimum stay of 7 days, and they are usually self-contained, so they are units with kitchen or kitchenettes, and they function more like a short-term corporate housing. So for SA2, right, which is very, very different, they require a minimum stay of 3 months. However, the difference is that the units do not need to be self-contained, they just need to be ensuite, like a bedroom with an attached bathroom. And here is one of the important points. In both cases, right, strata subdivision is not allowed. So what that means is that these apartments cannot be sold off to individual owners. They remain under a single operator run like a professional block. So when we talk about service apartments in Zyon Grand, we are looking at long stay model under the SA2 guidelines. So it's not like a weekly rental like a hotel. Zyon Grand will be the first project in Singapore to include this SA2 category of service apartment, where the minimum stay is 3 months. The only other site with this same SA2 requirement was this Upper Thomson Road government land sale, and the tender closed with no bids submitted. And this is a concern because SA2 is a brand new pilot program. It hasn't been tested in any residential projects before, so there will definitely be some question marks, right? It's not just about the buyer's perception and demand, it's also about how it could affect the rentability for investors in Zyon Grand. However, in my opinion, right, I feel that this is really still 2 separate tenant pools. For private condo rentals, although yes, the minimum period is 3 months, but leases are typically 6 months to a year or longer, whereas this SA2 feels like it is aimed at shorter stays. But because this is also the first time SA2 is introduced, we have yet to see how the market will respond and what kind of impact it might have. And service apartment actually creates the impression of being more of a short-term thing in nature, with tenants coming and going more frequently. So for some homeowners, that could affect the sense of exclusivity, although in this case of Zyon Grand, right, the SA2 apartments will be housed in a separate block and will potentially have separate facilities as well. So looking at the unit mix, right, about 58% of the units are 3-bedroom or larger, while the remaining 42% of units are made up of 1 and 2 bedders. And since Zyon Grand is right next to Promenade Peak, which is also a high-rise development, I feel that people will naturally be comparing between the two. As of now, I do not have the floor plans nor the estimated price matrix yet, so do stay tuned for part 2 of this video for those details before making a clearer comparison. I'll be doing a part 2 video once the floor plans are released with my usual full analysis, but for now this is just a quick update with the information that is available. And if you're wondering whether Zyon Grand could be suitable for you, you can feel free to drop me a WhatsApp directly or join my Telegram channel where I'll share updates the moment I get them. And I'll see you in the next video.